Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope you're having an amazing day and a start to an amazing and productive week. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Drew Demery. I am the owner and founder of a independent coaching and trading company called the Freedom Companies. And we're going to talk about mindset today. So Mindset Monday is all about just kind of a relaunch, a way for us to kind of start our week together. I always say like the Sunday slump. Maybe you had a productive and a fun weekend, and now we're in the grind, right? We're doing the Monday things like owning a business or going to our corporate job or raising our kids. So today we're going to talk about a topic that's very sensitive to me and very important to all of us, I think. And so it's a four-letter word called time. So let me explain why time is connected to mindset, right? So when I first began to be a coach, I thought I just needed to help people develop a plan. And then, of course, connect it to mindset. So you know that obviously those are two are important, right? So we have a plan, and now we have the mindset to achieve the plan. Yet many of my clients are not lazy, and they're definitely educated, and they definitely have the skills to be successful. But time management was the tricky thing. It was the thing that when I realized that I can give you a plan, I can even help you and encourage you to kind of have a growth mindset. But if you don't have the ability to frame it into your world, to plug it into how you live, it's not going to be executed at a high level because you and I, we live different lives. We make different choices every single day, right? So what I spend my time on and what you spend your time on is very different. And there's nothing wrong with that. That yet, if we want to achieve a level of success and have a high level of a growth mindset, we got to figure out what the best use of our time is. And the answer is different for every single one of us. So I wanted us to think about it. Um, I kind of just did an average of an age. So let's say you're 75 years old, right? So the average person has 28,000 days in their life if they're a 75-year-old person, right? So we've had 28,000 days to live on this earth, right? But then we got to sleep, right? So on average, there's 9,000 plus or minus of those days we actually physically need to sleep. I love a good nap. So that means we're left with about 18,875 plus or minus days, right? The effectiveness, the time that we use on those days is so precious to us, right? So us making the decision of saying yes to something or no to something is so important, right? Are we making choices that are going to better our health, our future, our family? Are we going to make better choices to impact the lives of the people around us, whether it's our clients or our business, right? So I say this because the reason why I'm so emotional is that if any of you are following me, may or may not know that my wife, Kimberly, was married to for 25 years, passed away almost 3 years ago with breast cancer. She was 42 years old. At that time, my daughter was 16 years old. And anybody who's grieved the loss of a person, specifically their spouse or partner or a loved one in their family, right? Time becomes kind of just a fixation or something you focus on more than ever. Because I feel she passed away so young, I constantly am reminded every day when I wake up, like, time is precious, life is short. And so the reason why I share that personal information is because I think it really does connect to the mindset of what we do with our time, right? So many of you, hopefully all of you know about Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins has told us for years, right? We have to change from what do we have to do with our time to what is our outcome with our time, right? So we kind of break it into three parts, right? So what tasks are things that we need to do in life that are painful? We're afraid of them, but we need to do them anyway. The second thing is what tasks are fun, right? So what's bringing us pleasure? What things do we need to say yes to that are going to bring some core memories into our world, right? And then number three, what tasks are demanding of me, right? Who's pulling at me? Who's asking or requesting things from me? And all of those three things that are connected with time are a choice that we have to make. Are we going to lean into the painful choices? Are we going to lean into having some more fun? Are we going to lean in or say no to the demands that we face every single day? And that ultimately defines how much time we have and which time we focus on. So, one of the things I realized is that we have to realize that time is an emotion, right? So, what are you really managing? You're not managing time, you're managing your emotions. What I mean by that is that we all have 24 hours in a day, right? Yet we all have this mindset. And that is the most important thing around time is that we have to make sure we use the growth mindset to do the things that we know that are the most effective and use our mindset to not bog us down, to not pull us down into a negative space so we stall, we freeze, we are paralyzed, right? Because those moments matter. And that's why building that muscle of the mindset is so important because it's not that you fail, it's that you fail and you pick yourself up. It's the idea or the mind, it's the mindset that we can do more if we can just build our mindset stronger. So I wanted us to go into just the efficiency of time, right? And so, like I said, I coach many professionals and we build the plan. We focus on the mindset, but then we talk about strategies or just real like hacks on how we can manage our time more effectively. So I'm going to do these rapid fire so we are effective with our time together today. There's 10 little, I call them Drew mindset hacks, right? Sorry, time management hacks. So number one, create a plan using a planner or a calendar. I personally think everyone uses their phone as a calendar or planner. You need to see it in a bigger space. Wall calendar, desk calendar, PC calendar. We need to see something bigger than this itty bitty screen that we're all looking at, right? Number two, prioritize tasks and batch them in similar tasks. I'm a big fan of like color coding, right? So I always say the example is like, think of it in sports. Like we play basketball and then 10 minutes later we play football and then 10 minutes later we play soccer, right? Our brain can't switch to those different sports. So using it as an example in your world, batch your things together, right? So lead generation goes together, database management goes together, maybe household chores need to go together, right? So we're going to switch from one sport or one task topic and then we're going to switch to other. What I often see is you go in and out of all these tasks and they're not batched together. Peg a time limit for each task and a deadline to get it done. You're not going to be perfect. You don't know, you don't have this like crystal ball how long things are going to take, but it'll start to show your efficiency of time, right? There's kind of a saying like, you will finish a task in the time allotted. If I know I have to complete this conversation with you in 10 minutes, I'm going to make it happen, right? I'm going to do whatever it is to get to that finish line of the time, right? So time block your activities, super important. I always say in anyone's calendar, put it all in there. Travel time, personal time. Don't just put your appointments in there. Like, I want to see a journal of your day because it's a good way for you to reflect as well. Speaking of journal, you may actually want to track your time management. We use an exercise called the perfect day, and we have coaching clients go from the minute their feet hit the ground when they wake up to the end of the day when their head hits the pillow, every single minute of the day. And what we find is those 15 to 20-minute distractions move us away much faster from our destination than those bigger chunked items that are already in your calendar, right? Leave time buffers between activities, white space. Don't block yourself so much that you can't actually be flexible with your day. Block out distractions. We call it a bunker, separate office. Don't be working in your kitchen, in your living room, in your spare bedroom, right? Go into an office, be able to shut the door, get your work done, get in and get out, just like in a World War II bunker, right? There's shrapnel at you every day. There's the dishes, there's TikTok, there's notifications, there's kids, there's pets, there's dishes, right? So make sure you have a bunker that's separated. Don't fuss about unimportant details. Y'all, you guys are so concerned about the details that no one even notices, right? So progress over perfection, 100%. Number 8, learn to say no. No is not a curse word. No is not bad, right? So what you say yes to, you say no to something else, right? And so when you're having someone pull at you, it is really important that you start to learn those boundaries or standards of your time management. Number 9 seems pretty basic, but have a clock visible. maybe talking on the phone or typing on an email or doing something in your day, and you don't realize, oh my gosh, I just literally have been on the phone for 35 minutes, right? Have something. I have an old school clock that literally sits right in front of this camera. And it's just an old school digital clock, and I can be aware of the time that I have. And number 10, this one's hard for control freaks. Delegate tasks, right? Is there something that you can do or that someone else can do instead of you, to make sure that it's done? All right. So just kind of the food for thought as you kind of go into that. Um, and the last thing I want you to think about is just chunking down your tasks, right? I think sometimes we take on things that are too large that can be accomplished in one day. So chunk that down. Maybe it's going to take you 2 hours, 3 hours spread over the week rather than just knocking it out in one day. And that's something that you kind of have to learn to chunk down in bite-sized pieces. So we end with a mindset quote, and it's a fun one. It's great. So time equals life. Therefore, waste your time and waste your life, or master your time and master your life. I'll read it a second time. Time equals life. Therefore, waste your time and waste your life, or master your time and master your life. So I want you to go into this week. I want you to continue this conversation into your lives and your daily practice. Look at your day, look at your time, look at the 10 hacks that I gave you, and chunk those down and see if those can be implemented into your world so that you can have a growth mindset and manage your time more effectively and live the life you want so you actually truly have a life by design. Thank you so much for joining me on these sessions. I appreciate your time, your energy, your comments, your subscribing, and really your feedback. So if you could leave a comment, let me know how you manage your time and how you manage a mindset around your time. I would love to learn from you as well. So thank you so much. I'll see you at our next session, and have an amazing week as you go into focusing on your time. Have a good one. Bye.